All right, excellent afternoon, viewers. Women have dared in regions that they have been discriminated in. Women have excelled in areas that were reserved for men, and women have challenged in power and influential positions that before now were off the radar, and hence the reason we have chosen to showcase their efforts, challenges, and not just their relevance, but their dominance in circles unimagined. We are proud to let you, our viewers, know that over the month period of and the stretch of we have interviewed great African women who in their various sectors and roles have, challenged and changed the narrative for women at all starts, at all levels. And today's episode stands as our final edition for the International Women's Month celebration and the last show for the first quarter of 2021. Welcome to the show that Real Talk with Kike, and this is Real Talk with Kike, and the show that's where conversations are real. And with me today are my excellent, opinionated, exciting, handsome, and beautiful co-hosts. Afternoon, guys. How are you doing today?
Good afternoon, Kike. Hi.
I'm well, thank you.
I'm great.
I'm good. Good to have you guys. Welcome to the show. It's Real Talk with Kike. It's good to be here with Kike and Dami. My name is Marshall Anthony Onoya.
That doesn't change. My name is Marshall. Can you hear the voice?
I'm not Marshall. I'm Dami Lolabani.
All right, welcome to the show, guys. I think it's important for us to listen to our first segment of the show, which is On This Day in History. We'll be right back.
On this day in history, Tuesday, March 30, 2015, exactly 6 years ago, General Muhammadu Buhari defeats incumbent Goodluck Jonathan to become the new president of Nigeria. Buhari won by 2.5 million votes, the first time an opposition party has democratically taken control from ruling party in the country's history. Incumbent Goodluck Jonathan conceded defeat to Muhammadu Buhari, a cabinet minister close to the outgoing president, told the Associated Press, paving the way for an unprecedented peaceful transfer of power in Africa's most populous nation.
All right, many thanks for staying tuned. This segment on this day in history, exactly 6 years ago, I believe.
Yes,
I just want to use this opportunity or this medium to officially thank ex-President Goodluck Jonathan for, the smooth transitioning of power, during that period when Buhari won and the likes and all of that, and it shows how democracy and progress, have come to stay regardless of our political differences and all of that, because I know it was PDP handing over to APC at the time, and I pray that this should be something that will be like a legacy, that we actually don't have to kill ourselves all because of differences in party. Dami, what's your submission on this?
Well, I think that it was quite remarkable. We've not had it like even the voiceover said, it was the first. We've been used to incumbency. Once there's a party in power and they have to run the second term, then it goes and goes on. But at least there was a shape shifting. There was a change. We saw a remarkable change. But from where we are till now, I think I'm hoping for 2023 so that we can really know where we're going to next.
Marshall, so we've said it all.
You said it all. But what I'll take away from that is, like you said, thumbs up to Goodluck Jonathan, ex-president, and she has said it was a time for us to reflect, to say, look, incumbency, power of incumbency was challenged and was knocked off. 2023 is around the corner, and people are hopeful.
Hey, the 2023 they're talking about, we should talk about in our trending.
Yes, we should.
All right, so I think it's important for us to go on a quick break and get the word from our sponsors. We'll be right back. Right, welcome back. Going straight into the business of the dish, shifting into the main topic of today. On today's show, we are drifting into sector that has made Nigeria rich, the famous source of revenue. The impacts made in that sector have been marginalize men alone. However, the narrative started changing about 2 decades ago when we had a few women like Folorunsho Alakija in the circle. Don't stretch further. It is the oil and gas industry, the players here have been men and all the way, and you know, they have dictated the pace of playing in the sector with stronghold. And today we will be talking about someone who can actually throw a lot of light on the topic at hand. Joining us on today's episode is Dr. Oladunni Owo. But before we connect to her via Zoom, it's important for us to take a good look at her profile. We'll be right back. All right, many thanks viewers for still staying tuned with us, and of course we have our guest via Zoom. It's a pleasure to have you via our Zoom line, Dr. Oladunni Owo. Many thanks for joining us via Zoom. All right, I'm not sure if she can hear us, but I'm sure we hear her. We're still in the spirit of celebrating women. And
thank you very much, Kike. Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you. So we're still in the spirit of celebrating women, and our conversation is revolving around women. And of course, you have been our guest today, putting a wrap to the International Women's Month, the month of March. So as a representative of the African woman, the topic of discussion for today is the African woman and her play in the oil and gas sector. And I'm so proud that we had to bring the national president on board, you know, to throw a lot of light on the discourse at hand. So my first question to you is, you know, Nigerian lawmakers are seeking passage of a petroleum industry bill, which is a PIB, that would reorganize the oil industry. So, but the political class thinks oil will be less important in the future than it is now, because of renewable energy sources. So should the government continue to invest in the oil and gas sector?
Oh yes, the government needs to continue to invest in that sector, because whether we like it or not, that's a major natural resources God has blessed the nation with. So we have tons, in fact, we are ninth largest gas, we have the ninth largest gas reserve in the entire world. So we can't throw all that away because there's energy transition and new things are happening globally now. So it is now for the government and for the nation as a whole to look at other bigger things we can actually use the natural resource to do that will benefit the nation, the people, and Africa at large, or even the world at large.
All right, many thanks for that, Dami.
Doctor, good afternoon again. I must say that you look pretty and I like the smile. She's full of life. But I'd like to ask, what is on the scale of 100, what's the ratio that which women have participated in oil and gas in Nigeria?
Okay, so the truth of the matter is, in the energy, oil and gas space, the percentage of women participation is pretty low. Currently, we are just about 15%. And of the 15%, only 5% actually get to sit on tables or get to sit at the decision tables where, you know, board tables where decisions are made. So it's a work in progress, and is one of the major things women in energy, oil and gas is focusing on, how we can close that huge gender gap we currently have in the industry.
Okay, for me, I'd like to know, welcome to the show, madam.
Thank you.
I'd like to know what your take is on the PIB, like Kike mentioned earlier. What's the infusion provision for the women in energy or oil and gas industry on the PIB?
Okay, talking about the PIB, you have actually touched a very soft spot for me, because the current PIB that the National Assembly is trying to pass is actually been in review for almost 20 years. And that is really, really embarrassing for us as a nation. But well, where we found ourselves, and we just need to go forward. And currently, there's a lot of work, and I must commend the efforts of both the Senate committee and even the Senate President and also the House of Representatives in ensuring that this bill is passed within the first half of this year. Because if the bill is passed, we would then be able to actually attract a lot of investment into the country. But currently, the way the bill is, I know a lot of work has gone into building, the content of the bill in order to be able to match best practice, but there's still more to be done in the sense that if we look at the global trend around energy now, there's a lot of movement away from the fossil fuel to cleaner energy in line with the Sustainable Development Goals, Goal 5, Goal 7, Goal 13. So Nigeria or the PIB also needs to encapsulate and also capture this in all we are doing. And I must also commend the efforts of the Ministry of Petroleum Resources for driving gas as a major transition fuel for Nigeria to also play in the clean energy space. So basically, some of the other things that just probably needed to be added to the PIB are things that speaks to the energy transition, energy mix, energy sustainability, and so on. So, and for the women in the industry, of course, we need to have more women hold governing, hold leadership position in the industry, both at the public sector level and the private sector level. And we would also like to appreciate the current administration. They are listening to us. I must say that last year, when His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, announced the last governing board of the NNPC, they were all men, and then we shouted and we cried, and they heard and listened to our cry, and today we have women on that board. Just a couple of days ago, Shell Nigeria appointed the first female woman managing director as a managing director of Shell Nigeria. The thing is, it's exciting, and for me, it's about ask and it shall be given. All these days, all these months, all these years, we've been quiet. Now we are speaking up and we are beginning to see the change. And like I normally say, this change is not about feminism. This change is not about trying to compete with the men. This change is about us tapping into the untapped reserve, maximizing the latent 50% innovation, creativity, knowledge that have been wasting, that the nation has been wasting for 60 years that we discovered oil. So it's a good thing. The current administration, they are listening both at the public sector level and the private sector level. We appreciate them for what they are doing, and we ask that they do more. Thank you very much.
Great. Oladunni Owo, many thanks for that submission, And I think this leads me to the next question, because I understand that the GMD of NNPC says that Nigeria spends 100 to 120 billion naira on subsidy monthly. The debate on subsidy removal keeps surfacing. So the hardship is definitely going to be more with the removal. So my question now is, what's your opinion, in terms of idea of subsidy management for us in this country?
Okay, well, I'm just going to, we are on a real talk show, and I'm going to say it the way it is, based on my understanding of the industry. I've been in this industry for 25 years. Subsidy is not the way to go any longer. Maybe before it was okay, it was fine, but the world has moved beyond subsidy. Oil and gas is a business, and then the private sector should be allowed to do the business. Running on a subsidy level is not going to help us. Well, the truth of the matter is, on the short run, the populace and the people are actually going to feel it, because what it then means is we are going to start looking at the current pricing in the global markets of PMS, of AGO, of GPK, and all the different refined products. But after a while, things are going to come back to normal, and we are going to enjoy it. But for us, for the government to be subsidizing us importing refined products at 20 billion, per annum. It doesn't make any economic sense. That $20 billion can actually be used to mainstream and construct new refineries that can then be used to churn out more refined products, more PMS, more petrochemical, more petrol, more diesel, more kerosene, more ATK, more jet one fuel, and all the different refined products, such that Nigeria can be positioned as a net exporter of this product rather than being an importer, currently. So it's something that will be painful. I must agree that it's going to be painful to the Nigerian populace at the initial stage, but with time, it's just going to be like our GSM. You can remember when we had to move from the analog to the digital, and then suddenly, initially, a SIM card was 50,000 naira, but currently a SIM card is almost close to zero. That is what is going to happen if we allow the regulation to actually settle in Nigeria as a strategy to refined petroleum products. Thank you.
All right, Oladunni, listening to you, I need to pick your brain on the solution when it comes to if fuel goes to 234 naira per liter. So the spiral effect on this economy will lead to high cost of living, high cost of production, inflation, etc. So what is your argument of the solution that should be that should be, what your advice would be basically?
Okay, my advice is this: the government cannot 100% just take it up when there are no alternative provision for the people or for the masses, because we should be thinking people before profits. But however, I would also like to say that the government in the last 4 or 5 years have actually been working at seeing how we can have domestic refining, both across the public sector and majorly the private sector. So in the last 3 years, we know of several modular refineries that had come on stream and they are currently producing. And the ones that have been in existence have also upgraded from whatever thousands of barrels per day that they were initially churning out to higher volumes now. So, and I can also assure you that by the time the Dangote refinery also come on stream, we will be able to at least cushion that effect. I don't expect it to go away 100% like a twinkle of an eye, but I expect that effect to be cushioned in such a way that it's going to be short term. I can assure you it's going to be short term. We will feel it now, but it's for the long time of our energy industry. So I want to plead with the masses, the entire Nigeria. It's going to be hard on us. It's not going to be easy at the initial stage, but at the long run, it's going to pay off. At the long run, it's going to further help the nation. It's going to help our economic position in the country, in the continent, and even in the global economy. So it's something we just have to do. Deregulation is imminent. Thank you.
You're welcome. I really want to say thank you for that submission. I like the fact that you mentioned it's a process. It will be painful, but slowly but surely we'll get out of it. I'd like to ask you on your book, the how to win in any market. Was this written as an overview of your 25 years experience in the oil and gas sector, or you have also joined other sectors and you can actually say that this book, when you read it, you thrive in any market?
Okay, thank you. That's an interesting question. Well, it's not just out of my experience in the industry. I joined the industry when things were even more terrible than what we're seeing now. I joined the industry as a young lady where I used to see deaths at gas stations. People queue for 3 days, 72 hours, even longer at filling stations to be able to put fuel in their tanks. And then when EHSQ is compromised and there's fire, I've seen lives, I've seen deaths, I have seen all sorts of things happen. And overture to this industry is still very much there. And then I started doing like an interview around the industry, big wigs. And I started asking them, why are you all focused on upstream? Why is nobody refining in Nigeria? And they're like, oh, there's no money in refining. It's copper money and and all. And I'm like, no, the people that are buying our crude oil, they are not drinking it. Neither are they using it as is. They are refining it and they are sending it back to us. So how can we now say there is no money in refining? There is something we are missing out. So that led me to a very a deep research. I actually did a research around different nations, different countries. I visited several refineries, both in Africa and outside Africa, in the US, in the Europe, to see what they are doing that we can also add Africa. And that's what you have in that book, Black Gold Refinery Business Made Easy, because I wanted to demystify that myth that refining is very hard, it's complex, you need to have a lot of money to be able to do it. So Black Gold Refinery Business Made Easy has helped to kind of demystify that belief, that myth, and then I now put a subtitle that says the ultimate guide to making big money. Since what it seems like Africans are looking for is big money in the industry. So the ultimate guide to making big money in the refining business. That's it.
Thanks, Oladunni Owo, for your submission thus far. We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be discussing the African woman in the oil and gas industry. A word from our sponsors. Welcome back from the break. If you are just joining us, we have Dr. Oladunni Owo on the show, and we are discussing the strength of African women in the oil and gas sectors. Again, let me use this opportunity to open our phone lines. Please, you can call us on the number on the screen, and of course, you can tweet us on our Twitter page, RealTalkWithKike, and also on our Instagram page, RealTalkWithKike. So, okay, if you're just joining us, there are quite a number of we've been discussing with the National President for Women in Energy, Oil and Gas, Dr. Oladunni Owo, and is keeping us updating us with the activities and achievements of women in that sector. And on this sector, we will be focusing on you, Dr. Oladunni Owo, as an African woman, and what your career journey has been, and I know it's been an inspiring one because of the connection, but still, the will to venture into this energy sector is something that is applauding to you. So my first question to you now is that, you're a multiple entrepreneur and writer. We know that the business atmosphere in Nigeria is very difficult. So what has made you endure as a woman to thrive till date in this oil and gas sector, if I may ask?
What has made me endure? Well, I can tell you that it's not been a very easy journey because it's a male-dominated industry, and the fact that you just have to, it's not about whether you're a lady, you just have to fit in. And then in my own case in particular, I've had to actually hold several positions that are like traditionally should be held by men. So there was a time I was managing the distribution of our products in one company I used to work for across Nigeria and indeed even West Africa. So you can imagine what that is and how that was. I had to climb tanks. I've been a fire marshal before. I had to work as the terminal executive in where they actually load out all the different products. I've had to support our marginal field team at one point, and so many other, in quotes, male things. But you see, one thing that had really helped me personally is the people that God had surrounded me with. So, like mentors, both male and female. I must say it's both male and female. I had very good supportive bosses that really helped me through the process. And then in my own case too, I had a very strong quest to learn. So I was always asking questions. As a matter of fact, some people call me question lady because I just wanted to know, I wanted to ask. Then I also lot on reading. Readers are leaders. So anywhere there's nowhere you cannot fit to in life if you can read, because what that author had written in his or her own book is like you're climbing on their shoulder to then see further and then be able to learn from their expertise, their experience, their exposures, and different things they have done in the course of their career or life in general. So mentorship, knowledge, reading, those are the three keys that work for me personally in this male-dominated industry.
All right, Oladunni, I get to finally have an opportunity to ask you my second question, and I'll take it this way. You are a mentor to so many women. I'd like to know the machineries you have on ground and how successful you've been in mentoring women with those machineries. I'll ask you a double-barrel question. Sexual harassment is not something that's totally new, and in some industries that are, like you said, male-dominated, and you find women trying to progress in it, you'll find sexual harassment. What would be your take as to experience in the industry when it comes to sexual harassment in oil and gas?
First question you asked, how have I been able to mentor other women into the industry? Well, three keys for me. Initially, it wasn't easy, but at one point I had to go for consulting, so I had to seek knowledge, and then I had to engage consulting organization to actually help us put structures, framework, and we started working at also being mentored as an organization. So we have mentoring organizations that are also mentoring us, so there's no way you can do it alone. The saying goes, walk alone, you can walk fast, but when you work together, you walk far. So we seek a lot of mentorship opportunity also as an organization. That's one. Secondly, what we also try to do is to seek knowledge. We do a lot of capacity building and training programs to help our women understand the industry and be able to know that, yeah, though it's male dominated, gone are the days where you need 6 packs to be able to drill oil. These are the days where you just need the necessary knowledge, digital knowledge, Internet of Things, digitalization, and so many other, new knowledge, if I may call it Generation Z knowledge, that you can leverage on, that can be robotics, that can also help you to cash in, and fast in the industry.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, his
Okay,
second question.
yes,
I think I'm also interested in that area of business. Like, there is no industry without sexual harassment, and
Okay,
the men want to help you.
about the sexual harassment. Well, because you see industry, so and we hardly hear too many of such, because even you are braced up like a man. So I'm in my helmet, I'm in my trousers, I'm in my jacket or something.
Oh, looking like a man already.
Some of those men already will see you like a man as well. So, but maybe for those that work in the softer angle of the industry, and so much like that. So, well, I'd rather also talk to sisters out there. The way you dress is the way you are dressed. So, let's also watch some of the things we also kind of put on to that stimulate some of these things. But on the other side, that doesn't mean that I'm trying to say that the men that actually do harass women at the workplace are right. No, it's just that, so I like to balance things. I have been opportuned to sit at some of those sessions where you have to hear two sides of the story, and I would rather I will say that both angles need to tread on the path of caution. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Okay, I would like to bring you back to the family front. I know you have kids, you have a wonderful husband, and how do you manage your job?
Oh, well, you see, for me, I would confess that over a decade and my active practice in this industry, I didn't have a work-life balance. I must confess that, because I'm out at 6 a.m. My driver takes me out by 6 a.m. and sometimes 11, 12 nights because I was in core operations. But at one point, I then had to be intense and deliberate about having a work-life balance. And that's what I'm going to advise all my sisters out there. It's not going to just come to you, just like that. As much as we are trying a lot of advocacies now for organizations to, systems in place to allow for such work-life balance, creche in the offices and so on. But you have to be deliberate and intense about it. You just have to draw that balance chart. So at one point in my personal life, I had to then take a break and then draw that work-life balance chart, and that helped me a lot, So I was able to then look inwards as to my innate talents and how I can also trade on them, family life, my, and everything. And then I drew a balance and I started working it out. As a matter of fact, it was in the midst of all that I authored a book I titled Work It Out. So I just have to keep telling everybody that it's not going to come to you on a platter of gold. You just have to deliberately and intentionally work it out. And I must say that one woman that had really also helped me in that, that space, listening to her, being mentored by her from a distance is Mrs. Ibukun Awoshika. She keep using that word. You have to be intentional about it. You have to be deliberate about it.
Right. Many thanks, Dr. Oladunni. I think this will be our last question to you, even though there's one of your statements you made a few minutes ago regarding how you address is how you be addressed. I don't know if I really agree with that, but that's going to be another discussion for another day when I will bring you on board. We're going to debate on how you address is how you be addressed. I really don't agree with that. But anyways, my last question to you today is, as an expert trainer and a consultant, what is that one crucial thing that is missing that should be worked upon for upcoming female entrepreneurs? Did you get that?
Okay, no, could you kindly repeat that? The line went off for a second thereabouts.
That as a consultant, as an expert trainer, what is that one crucial thing that you think is missing or that should be worked upon for the upcoming female entrepreneurs that look up to people like you?
Go for mentorship.
Okay.
Don't do it alone. You can't do it alone. You just have to go for identify people that have climbed the hill you want to climb. Go on their shoulder and learn from them. Mentorship, very, very important. And we just have to drop all our wits and wins. Women, sometimes we just have to show. You just have to drop all that, put them aside, and then go learn. Put on that learning cap and go learn from those that have gone ahead. I'm still work in progress in that area myself, but my research has shown that if we have more people, more upcoming women having somebody to look up to, and also those that are already up there, please kindly find a space in your very tight schedule and time to mentor upcoming women too. We need that sustainability. We need that continuity. We don't want it to stop and then restart and then stop and restart. In the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, we should be able to see those that will emulate the current women that are blazing the trail, across several industries. So they should, on their own, also come, down to the level of us women and be ready to also mentor upcoming women. So it goes the two-way: mentor, mentee, protege, mentor, and all the different vocabularies and terminologies that are being used. Mentorship is the key word.
All right. Many thanks for coming on the show, Oladunni Owo. It is a pleasure to have you on the show today. And of course, you saved our job today. You know what I mean by coming on the show. I know you have other things you need to do after you said 2:40. So thank you so much for creating time to be here with us today.
Okay, so if I may just drop something, a quick nugget. We are actually at the Sheraton Hotel, Abuja, for the Nexim Bank, Nigerian Export-Import Bank. is actually they just launched a women export promotion platform, and I want to encourage all women to go for it. It is interesting, it is fantastic. The FTA, that's the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, works such that we can use that platform to make Nigeria the giant of Africa again and again.
All right, many thanks. We'll go on a quick break and get a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back. All right, many thanks for staying tuned. If you're just joining us, we just wrapped up with Dr. Oladunni Owo. She is the national president for oil and gas industry. And before we round up today's show, there are a number of trending stories in Nigeria that surfaced over the weekend and caught our attention. I would like to talk a little bit about it before we go. There's part of the federal government has dispelled the possibility of any fake COVID-19 vaccine before it's been administered or sold to any unauthorized institution in Nigeria, and this is contained in the circular signed by Dr. Adebimpe Adebiyi, the Director, Department of Hospital Service, Federal Ministry of Health, on behalf of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Osage, in Abuja. A lot of Nigerians are getting vaccinated. If you haven't, you should look into this. There are quite a number of controversy around it. So people are saying, oh, I don't want to be vaccinated yet. So people are saying it's better you just get the shot. Damilola, what's your take on this?
It's 50-50. Let's say the truth at this
point. So what do you mean by 50-50?
50-50 in the sense that it's not good for us to be using drugs for headache, for stomach pain. It will worry your stomach. We know that in most of our hospitals, please pardon me, but it's real talk, it's the truth. And you have headache, instead of normal paracetamol, they might give you Flagy. So I'm sure that they are not going to mix up something at the end of the day. There's somebody not that sounding like a goat. We have to do proper analysis and know that it's the correct vaccine that we are being dispensed. Because I saw some crazy reactions to, and somebody modeled like taking the vaccine, and the next person said,
So
we will not see
how would you begin to analyze? Because you said we have to do proper analysis. So
proper analysis, like we need to be sure that what the vaccine is actually what is being given.
Are you a medical expert?
No, but we go to hospitals.
Anyway,
we have people that have gone there.
What I'll take from this story is COVID-19 is not for sale. And rather than the authenticity of it, because I think, yes, we can leave everything to chance, but we just have to buy into the professionalism that is being dished to us. It's not for sale. That's because we know the Nigerian, pardon me, unapologetically though, the Nigerian syndrome of selling everything that you're monetizing everything.
If Nigerians can sell life, they will.
Exactly. So I know, I like that awareness coming from the ministry, saying it's not for sale. If you're thinking of selling the COVID-19 jabs there, here it is, don't sell it.
Because I heard them.
All right, many thanks on that. I know that technical people are saying to me. Wrap up on this. So I think another story that caught our attention as well is a resident of Ajiran in the Aja area of Lagos State, Jelili Bakare to be precise, was shot dead by a police inspector, Jonathan, because he demanded to know why the police man wanted to search him, and Bakare was reportedly relaxing at Kulok's lounge in Shangotedo Aja when he was shot during an argument, and the State Commissioner of Police, Akim Odumosu, and some senior officers paid a condolence visit to the late Bakare's family. The police person in the state, CSP Mayowa Adejobi, statement on Saturday said the CP assured the family that the killer's policeman would be brought to justice, and I pray that eventually this person will be brought to justice, because we know how things can be wrapped in all of this. I know you have a lot to say on this. What's your submission quickly on this?
Please, can I say no comments?
No comments.
Because instead of me to say the truth, and the truth will hurt, smite somebody.
No comment. What's your opinion?
Well, if you ask me, I think I'll just stand behind Damilola and say, and the beats go on, or the beat goes on, because I mean, one kill too many.
It will happen next week. It will happen in 2 weeks' time. It will happen next month. No comments.
No,
if they feel that's how it is appropriate, then it's easy to pay a condolence visit. That's the easiest thing.
It's unfortunate. I'll pass on this.
All right, many thanks, you guys. You see where the state of our nation is right now. That's my opinion. Later, co-hosts can actually even give their 2 cents on the topic at hand or the story at hand. All right, moving quickly to the last trendy story that also caught our attention was that of the governor Kike, who conferred the honor on Burna Boy, who won the best global music album with what's it called? Is Twice as Nice collection at the 63rd Grammy Awards during the reception organized by the Rivers State government in Port Harcourt. And Governor Kike, conferred the Grammy Award-winning Afrobeat artist whose real name is Damini Ogulu with the Distinguished Service Star of River State, and of course the second highest distinction in the state as well. And he said that the honor was aimed at appreciating indigents, or so to speak, of the state who show outstanding talent with their works and stand out at a lot of things that they are doing presently. And so my question now is the money that was given, is it coming from the state's government or it's coming from a personal pocket? I know there are a lot of debate over this, Damilola. There are quite a number of people saying that it's owing teachers' salaries, and I was opportune to call somebody from the River State government, and they said that it's not owing any teachers' salaries. And the coming out to talk about these are people who are not under the scheme of the state, are people who they have to let go, they're not properly registered under the state, and the people coming out, just to create unnecessary controversy over the. But what's your opinion with the 10 billion naira that they're giving to all these artists?
That's how they gave Jay-Z and Beyonce to Kwara State that year when they came. Agreed. But I think that it's a laudable one, but it's medicine after death. There are a lot of talents. Excuse me, let me. But there are a lot of talents in River State that should have been harnessed, not today, out of the gutters or out of his comfort zone, to work hard for himself. I agree. That's why I said it's laudable. You appreciated him. But how about the ones that do not even have a means to run out of that community to make a name for themselves? We need to look in back. Nigeria has a lot of talents, from writing to singing to acting and all of these things that the entertainment industry now is spinning good money. Look inward, look back, then you can now grow them. You can, you can plant them, water them, grow them, then harvest them as your own. It's not that they know that Burna Boy is the son of Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt firstborn.
I have an opinion, but let Masha go. Masha, what's your submission on this?
Similar to Dami, mine is what good is it that you're honoring him with such an amount of money with land? I would have thought that you would project him to mentor other smaller and upcoming, and also create an enabling environment for other talents to thrive. Using Burna Boy as an example, and also finding out how he was able to make it. I mean, he's already gotten the Grammy Awards. What other award do you want to give him from the States?
All right, I think my submission on this is, first of all, start by saying that we all keep forgetting that Burna Boy is a returnee. Because Burna Boy was in UK, he had the support of his mother, and if you're talking about ease of doing business, creating the environment where people can, strive and come out and become somebody, that at the end of the day, it's about, I don't say anything wrong if you ask me for what has he done. I don't say anything wrong in him appreciating Burna Boy. I don't think that people should dictate how people should appreciate people, especially when it comes to Burna Boy being appreciated or celebrated globally across, but I'm sorry, I think I have to wrap up on this side. But for those people who need my opinion, you can come on my social media page. I will give you my opinion.
I have extra opinion too.
You can follow my co-host Damilola and Marshall on the social media page. It was indeed all real talk from our guest, from my exciting, opinionated co-host right here. I think our final submission on this is that our quota of contribution will be made by nobody else but ourselves individually. The question is not metal in us, but the will to start and forge ahead in our various works and discipline. As female and African women, we are strong, we are resilient. Let's brace up and make impact in nation building and the progress of the African continent. It is a goal we can achieve, and we must. So we come your way on Thursday, and keep being real, and bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.